Howdy, YouTube. This is Nicole Cushing, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about a novella that I have coming out from um, DarkFuse in March called Children of No One. And I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of how I came up with the idea with For Children of No One through kind of what the first drafts kind of looked like, and then kind of show you where we are now in the production process. The book doesn't come out until March, so we're not quite there yet as far as having copies of the book or anything like that. That won't happen until later. But I can show you kind of where we are. And I guess what I'll do is work backwards. This is the first page of the Galley, and this is something I printed off from an electronic file here for the purposes of editing. One of the things I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, just kind of going over the Galley and making sure all the little things. Are there any typos? Are there any grammatical errors? Are there any continuity problems? And that kind of thing. And I'm kind of I try to be good in that regard. I'm sure I am not perfect because I'm only human, right? But I really try my very best to make sure that everything is the way it needs to be. And so, I'll kind of show you a little bit more here. These are the, well, I'm going to have to, this is the actual pile of pages for the rest of the Galley. And it's kind of laid out the way that the book will eventually be laid out. The idea being that this is kind of the final step before it actually gets, made into a book. So this is almost like, think of this as almost being, this like weird hybrid between draft and book, the Galley. And so there you have the stuff that that's going to be in the beginning of the book, and then acknowledgments and that sort of thing, and then the first page of the actual text and everything. So it's see it kind of go from through here, and what can I tell you about this? Like I said, I use this. My job is to edit this along with my editor, and to kind of look for typos and to look for issues. And so you see a little note there about continuity, and typically if I see a problem, I'll dog ear the page and go back to it. But to make sure that they're just that the text that the reader gets is going to be as strong as it can be. So this is where we are now. Now, of course, we were not always here, right? I mean, and so for the purpose of this video, I did some archaeology in my office, which is pretty messy right now, actually, truth be told. And but I was able to, like I said, do some archaeology in the office, and I uncovered an early draft of Children of No One. And Children of No One actually went through a couple of different titles before becoming Children of No One. For a fair stretch of time, the title was A Non-Existent Guide to Nowhere, Indiana. And this is the, what you see here is the first surviving draft, I think, of this. And it is, as you can see, this is, over 100 pages long here, laid out as it will be in the book. This is considerably smaller. This is when I was early in. I think this is 10 pages of work here. Excuse me. With the old title. Some other titles that I was considering along the way. I know that for a while I was considering, maybe only for a day or two, I was considering The Black Canvas as an idea, as a possible title. But I'm actually quite happy with Children of No One. It's definitely, I feel like it's a good fit to kind of convey what the book is about in a general way. Although this title I will probably use for another project somewhere down the line because I likes it. But anyway, but it's just kind of interesting when you see the difference between that and how polished that looks, and this, with little notes scrawled in the corner, and the didn't even have the page number up at the top. I had to write the page number at the top there. I didn't even use a header at that point. And you see little, again, my little proofreading stuff that I do kind of partway through the draft. And if you are a true fan, you're going to want to see my doodles. Do I have any true fans yet? I don't know. But yeah, there's a doodle. Psychoanalyze that. Yeah, there's another doodle there. I make doodles on my drafts. And this is my favorite doodle. I'm trying to decide whether or not that's a self-portrait or not. You know, at that point, and if so, if that was a self-portrait, then boy, was I an unhappy camper at that point. But if I was an unhappy camper, it may have been because I was still working on trying to find what I was going to do. Matter of fact, you'll see here on the draft. I would write notes for next time. So I'd write my idea for how I thought the story would progress after those first 10 pages. And I'm looking at it now, and it has a little bit to do. Yeah, actually, I mean, those ideas ended up in the final story. That doesn't always happen. I don't really outline a story or follow a rigorous outline or anything like that. This was kind of feeling my way through this novella, and it's the first novella that I've ever written, and so I'm pretty pleased to have the first novella I've ever written published by the good folks at DarkFuse. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that, and really appreciate them. So anyway, so we go from this slick, almost a book, not quite a book, but we're getting there, right? It's getting, this is pretty slick, I mean, with the way it's, laid out and everything, and everything, and from very humble beginnings, from 10 pages and some notes and this. So there you go. I will talk a little bit about one other thing I did. I was doing archaeology in my office and going through things, trying to clean up around here. And I found what I call a character outline. And this is basically when I did do outlining for Children of No One. It was towards the end when I had gotten about 3/4 of the way through, and I wanted to basically, kind of build some scaffolding for the remaining, quarter of the novella. So I have my characters here. There's, the main kid here. That was my kind of handle for him at the time. One of the characters, one of the children. One of, then Krieg, and then Mr. No One, and then McPherson is the other character. And then what I did is kind of have an idea for, I'm not going to show you because I don't want, there's spoilers on this paper. But this is basically a character outline of where the characters start and where I wanted them to go. And maybe, well, I guess in the future it really wouldn't make sense to show you this. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, it's kind of cruel to show you this because I'm hiding from you essential parts of it. But there you go. This is kind of what I do. So what I do is I kind of have this graph, not really graph, but I had this table with 4 columns, and then there's, 4 rows, and then it's 3 columns, and then what I have is I have each of the characters, and then I have where they start off with in the next column, then in the third column I have where they end, you know, kind of emotionally or physically or whatever. And that's, I call it a character outline, and it's just kind of, it's not focused on plot as far as this happens and then that happens and then that happens. It's a character outline where I'm you know, basically, you know, focusing on the characters and focusing on, you know, where they start and where they finish, because you know, that I think characters should ideally make a journey really throughout the you know, the course of the manuscript, throughout this course of the story. That characters need to change and grow, and so these are my you know, some of the main characters, and and these are, and then there's the other elements there. So that's a little bit about the forthcoming novella, Children of No One. I really look forward to sharing this with you because it is my first novella, and because I'm excited about it, and it's, you know, I'm just very proud of it, and so as we go forward in this process, what I'll probably do is, you know, make a video every now and then if anything new happens in the process. Maybe when I first get my contributor copies, or when I'm signing things, or that kind of thing, just so you can see it, and you know, kind of keep you aware of the process. Um, in the meantime, feel free to visit my website too. I'll probably have updates there. Allow me to show you my card. You can go to my website, which is there, www.nicolecushing.com, or you can email me at nicolecushingwriter@gmail.com. Take care, and have a nice day, as they say. Enjoy the holiday season, all that kind of good stuff. Now let me see if I can actually turn this thing off. Where is it? Where's the off button? Oh no.